Welcome back to Chatting with Red. Make sure y'all hit that like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment. We're going to get into the timeline of Gabby Petito. Also, they think they found her remains, and her fiance just happened to be missing now. Like his family doesn't know where he's at. This is insane. His family, he probably told them what he really did to this girl. And they probably helped him escape the country or something. Let's see our timeline.
Never goes outside.
Gabrielle Petito's laugh and her adventurous spirit would be hard to miss, says her father, Joseph. So when he watches this video of his daughter, who has mysteriously vanished, he breaks down.
It's a beautiful video. That's her dream, and she's living it. And it's awesome. And she's sharing it with a lot of people. And she wants to continue to do that. She's got places to go still, so we need to find her.
Her family says Gabby kicked off her cross-country adventure with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, on July 2nd. They say the couple took off in their Ford van, which they had converted into a camper. Now, according to her Instagram account, the couple made their way to Colorado and Utah. Her mom says on August 24th, Gabby FaceTimed with her. She was believed to be in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. The last text came 6 days later.
The first couple of days, I wasn't getting responses. I believe she was in a place with no service. It was like day 8 and 9 that I really became concerned.
On September 11th, Gabby's parents reported her missing.
My gut is that she's in trouble. She needs help. All right? She doesn't go this long without contacting, anyone.
When investigators looked into Gabby's mysterious disappearance, here's how they described it to us. Someone who's been traveling and contacting family, then all of a sudden goes dark? That's obviously odd.
I love the van.
To add on to the mystery, police say the van was recovered in Northport, Florida. As for Gabby's boyfriend, he is not missing. Laundrie's attorney says he's advised the family not to comment, but gave us this statement. This is understandably an extremely difficult time for both the Petito family and the Laundrie family. And adding, it's our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family.
To clarify, you have not talked to Brian. No, we were told not to, but last time I checked, their child was home. My child is nowhere to be found. And nor are we even able to ask questions on how that came to be. Just want to find her. It's all I care about.
We have new information on the case of the missing young woman from New York, Gabby Petito. She was with her fiance. They were doing the van thing, going across the country and hiking. She is now missing. The FBI is now involved in the investigation. That's according to the attorney for Gabby's fiance, Brian Laundrie, and he is where we find the major twist. Obviously, there's been a lot of curiosity about why he hasn't worked with police yet, why he hasn't said anything, frankly, why he isn't leading this effort to find his fiancée. Law enforcement says Laundrie has refused to speak or cooperate with them. They now say they don't know where he is. Northport, Florida police and the FBI searched his family home early this evening as demonstrators gathered outside. Earlier this evening, the police chief spoke to CNN. Listen.
He's physically not in the home, as far as I'm aware right now. He could be anywhere.
Laundrie's attorney says the FBI removed items from the property. We don't know what. You'll remember Laundrie and Gabby were traveling together in a white 2012 Ford Transit van. He returned home with the van, but without her. A staff member from a Fairfield Inn and Suites in Salt Lake City told CNN FBI and police officers visited the hotel recently where Gabby was reportedly seen checking out on August 24. She was reported missing on September 11. Joining us now is PIO, Public Information Officer for the Northport, Florida Police, Josh Taylor. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Chris.
So let's begin at the beginning. for these latest events. The Laundrie family asked police to come to the home. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. Yes, sir.
Why?
So they called us there this evening. Once we've gotten there, they are now claiming that they have not seen their son since Tuesday.
Is that why they asked you to come? That was what they wanted you to know?
Yes, sir.
What were the circumstances surrounding their understanding of where he had gone and why they had waited 3 days? How did they explain it?
Yeah, I think some of that is, Chris, literally our detectives were at that house less than 45 minutes ago. They left there. Some of this we're still trying to figure out. We've been trying all week to talk to his family, to talk to Brian, and now they've called us here on Friday. We've gone to the home, and they are saying that they have not seen their son. So we are working through those details as we speak. So it is another twist in this story for sure.
Do they explain it as him just disappearing? Was he angry? Did he leave a note? What was the last message? Anything like that?
Right. We do have some details on that, Chris. Respectfully, I just cannot release those yet. I think that will come out here very shortly. We just want to get our ducks in a row a little bit. This has been a very quickly developing situation here in just the last hour, really, for the most part. So we're working through that. We want to make sure that we're accurate in everything that we're saying.
But let's do it this way. Do you have any indication to work off of what his state of mind is and where he may be?
We do not. We have not. We tried to talk with Brian on Saturday. We were refused being able to speak with him. His parents essentially handed us a note for their attorney, which we have reached out to on multiple occasions. This is our first interaction with them here Friday. We know that this young man was back here in our community on September 1st. She was not reported missing by her family until September 10th or 11th, I'm sorry. So there's already been a huge amount of time that he's been back here in this community.
To your knowledge, has Brian Laundrie explained anything to anyone about Gabby's disappearance? Did the family know anything?
What the family knows, we need to know from them. It is very possible that he shared some of these details with them. They obviously weren't there, so they would be getting his rendition, potentially, of whatever took place. So, but certainly we would love for them to share with us what he shared with them.
They still haven't?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Utah police released this body camera footage showing their encounter with Gabby and her boyfriend before she disappeared. You saw some of that earlier in Evan's story, but here's more. A witness called officers after seeing the couple get physical, and tonight domestic violence experts looked at much of that video as well. Fox 13's Brianna Ardano joined us now live with us in Tampa with their reaction. Hi there, Brianna. I know this certainly shows a lot of tension between the two.
And Mark, officers ended up talking to both of them separately and ultimately did not cite Gabby with domestic violence. And tonight, those survivor advocates tell us that there's a lesson here in checking in with others.
What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
This body camera footage from Moab police in Utah shows officers talking to Gabby Petito before she disappeared. A witness called officers about a potential domestic violence situation on August 12th after seeing Gabby and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, argue and get physical.
She talks about her mental health issues, her OCD specifically, and that that there was some tension between the two. He acknowledged tension between them, so you could tell that this was an escalating situation.
Clara Reynolds with the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay tells us remotely they handle calls all the time from people looking for help in domestic violence situations. Reynolds watched the body cam video and says it's important to trust your gut if you see something.
So at least at this point, there is recognition that within a couple of weeks of the disappearance, that there was at least one interaction that demonstrated that there were some issues between the two individuals.
The video also shows police asking Brian about the scratches on his body. Officers did not charge or cite Gabby because she says she didn't intend to harm him. But what Mindy Murphy saw in the video paints a different picture of Gabby being the victim. She works with domestic violence survivors at the Spring of Tampa Bay.
So it was not unusual to hear her taking responsibility for her behaviors and kind of, and him not taking any responsibility for his. I tend to think that probably there was a lot more that he did to contribute to the situation than at least I saw in that first 20 minutes.
The couple was separated that night for their safety. Domestic violence experts say the video shows how important law enforcement training is in those situations.
But it's really important that law enforcement knows what they're doing, that they give a potential victim space to be able to safely talk about what's been going on.
And victim advocates say that it is also important to watch for any signs that may be wrong because every couple is different and those signs may come up as physical or even behavior changes. And so they say that
First and foremost, on behalf of the FBI personnel and our partners, I would like to extend sincere and heartfelt condolences to Gabby's family. Joe and Tara Petito, and Jim and Nicole Schmidt. As every parent can imagine, this is an incredibly difficult time for the family and friends. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. We ask that you all respect the privacy as they mourn the loss of their daughter. As you are aware, FBI personnel, in coordination with our partners at National Park Service, the Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, and Jackson Police Department, have been conducting an investigative activity in the vicinity of the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. Earlier today, human remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito. Full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified of this discovery. The cause of death has not been determined at this time. We appreciate your continued support and patience as we work through this process. The vicinity around Spread Creek campsite will remain closed to the public until further notice. This is an active and ongoing investigation, so we ask everyone maintain distance from law enforcement personnel and equipment, vehicles, and related activity for their own safety, as well as to protect the integrity of our work and respect privacy for Gabby's family. We appreciate the tremendous support from the public. The support from the public's response to request of tips has been remarkable. We continue to seek information from anyone who utilized the Spread Creek dispersed camping area between the dates of August 27th and August 30th. Anyone that may have had contact with Gabby or her boyfriend, or who may have seen their vehicle in that area. Please share any new information with the FBI at tips.fbi.gov or 1-800-CALL-FBI. And finally, the Denver Field Office Direct is 303-629-7171. Photos and videos can also be uploaded at fbi.gov/Petito. We thank our partners at the National Park Service, the U.S. Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, and Jackson Police Department for their collaboration and diligence in this investigation. They surged their resources in a very short amount of time, and their personnel have intimate knowledge of the rugged terrain that we're dealing with, which made this process much more difficult. We greatly appreciate the invaluable skill and expertise of the Teton County Search and Rescue Team. We also thank the community of Jackson and the surrounding areas for tremendous support from the public. The support from the public's response to request of tips has been remarkable. We continue to seek information from anyone who utilized the Spread Creek dispersed camping area between the dates of August 27th and August 30th. Anyone that may have had contact with Gabby or her boyfriend, or who may have seen their vehicle in that area. Please share and Jackson Police Department for their collaboration and diligence in this investigation. They surged their resources in a very short amount of time, and their personnel have intimate knowledge of the rugged terrain that we're dealing with, which made this process much more difficult. We greatly appreciate the invaluable skill and expertise of the Teton County Search and Rescue Team. We also thank the community of Jackson and the surrounding areas for the hospitality and for accommodating a rapid influx of law enforcement personnel in the area. In order to protect our investigative process and increase probability of successful prosecution should it be necessary, we have no additional comments. We appreciate your cooperation and respect for Gabby's family, loved ones, during this difficult.
Samsel Supply has great.
Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe.